Monrovia, Liberia. George Weah, the former soccer player known as the scorer of one of the greatest goals of all time, has won the Liberian presidency, provisional results show, setting the stage for the country's first peaceful democratic transition of power. It was Mr. Weah's third effort to lead this nation founded 2 centuries ago by freed American blacks. He defeated Vice President Joseph Boakai, best known for a curious falling out with the president under whom he served for 12 years, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first democratically elected female president. In the weeks leading up to the runoff presidential election on Tuesday, Mr. Boakai accused Mrs. Sirleaf of secretly orchestrating his defeat. The vice president went all the way to the Liberian Supreme Court with his charges, and managed to delay the final runoff election by 2 months. The runoff, originally set for October, was finally scheduled for the day after Christmas. That is a day when many voters might be expected to be recuperating at home after the holiday, and the result was as many people expected. Voter turnout was low. It was a last-gasp effort by the vice president's forces to save him from defeat, critics in Monrovia said. But in the end it did not work. Liberia's National Elections Commission announced on Thursday that Mr. Weah, with more than 90% of votes counted, was beating Mr. Boakai handily. Mr. Weah had 61.5% of the more than 1 million votes tallied, while Mr. Boakai had 38.5%, the commission announced. The Elections Commission stopped short of declaring Mr. Weah the outright winner at a news conference on Thursday, with officials saying they would have final results soon. And Mr. Weah declined to comment until the commission officially announces the results. But at Mr. Weah's Congress for Democratic Change Party headquarters, hundreds of people with crackling radios held to their ears erupted over the results. In Gibraltar, the Monrovia neighborhood where Mr. Weah grew up, residents on Thursday spoke about how their slum was now a president's community. People can classify our community, saying that's so grown-up people living here, and today this community is coming to produce a president, said Veronica Doe, 46, using a Liberian English reference to Street Boys. Ms. Doe, a mother of 7, said she had played kickball on the same dusty soccer field as Mr. Weah in the 1980s. Now she sells small plastic bags of water out of a cooler, one of the thousands of market women who drive the local economy. Next to her stall, a narrow alleyway edged by concertina wire led to the modest house where Mr. Weah was raised by his grandmother, which is now occupied by other tenants. Women sold charcoal, biscuits and bread on the stoop, and children ran around. Mr. Weah's is a rags-to-riches story. He emerged from the slums of Gibraltar with an uncanny ability to buck and weave behind a soccer ball all the way up the pitch, and eventually gained fame as a world-class striker for the Italian team AC Milan.